shooting in your own apartment. That way you don't have to pay for the space and you have complete control.
So if you only have access to a studio apartment and your roommate, then maybe you should consider writing a story that takes place in a studio apartment with a character that's like your roommate, if that's all you have access to.
But if you have access to a hot air balloon, make a thing in a hot air balloon.
Good sound. Do whatever you can to get good sound, even record it on a separate device if you can.
If you can't afford a $900 lavalier microphone and a sound recordist, one thing that Scott and I have done in pinches is to use the voice recording memo app on your phone and to just start recording and turn it upside down. You just put it in the actor's breast pocket, and that actually does a pretty good job of recording the sound that's coming out of their mouths.
The audience will let a bad picture go as long as the sound is really good, but they won't do the reverse.
Number 2 would be to find a great DP, somebody that knows how to shoot with natural light, like a natural street corner. Here we are, all exterior. Those, obviously, without having to pay location costs, that will help you keep your costs down.
You don't need a nice set to make an interesting camera angle.
Another way that you can get higher production value for very little money is to use and embrace stock footage. If you use a shot of like a cruise ship or an island or a skyscraper, and then you think of a creative way to transition from that wide shot into close-up shots of your characters talking, you can make it look like you shot in a faraway exotic place when actually you're just shooting in your living room.
Depth of field. That means that some things are in sharp focus while other things fall into soft. The big movies do this because they have really expensive lenses, but if you're on a budget, you can take a consumer camera and you can zoom in, and this will give you, it'll look like you have much better glass than, I have no idea who this kid is.
Something that doesn't seem like it's going to save money, but actually does, is gathering visual references and trying to pre-visualize very specifically what you're trying to accomplish with a shoot.
The first thing is really making sure that you're telling a short story, not that you're trying to tell a feature, an hour-and-a-half film in 8 minutes. What you really want to be able to do is have a very simple but very good story.
Show us who we're imprinting on very quickly. Who's the star of the story? The audience is kind of like a bunch of baby birds. They want to know who represents them. Thank you, honey, in the story.
Just writing a manageable script, not having any explosions, CGI, things that cost a tremendous amount of money.
When you're coming up with the concept for a very low-budget short film, I would suggest studying and reading up on the Dogma 95 manifesto. It's an exercise in very stripped-down filmmaking where you have to concentrate on just the story and the characters, and you're not allowed to worry about lights, props, special effects, etc., etc.
So, I'm on the street. First thing that comes to me, like if I had to do a film for $500, what could I get for $500? If I could spend all the money on like one thing and base the film around that, like I buy some sort of $500 purse, that's the star of the film, and I shoot the film on my iPhone. Or even like if the money itself could maybe be the star. A cheaply made film but about 500 crisp dollar bills could be something that would be a fun a story to come up with.
Another technique is to go out and buy cannolis and give them to somebody that has really nice equipment, whose equipment you want to use.
That works.
When you don't have a lot of money to pay people, it's always important to feed them well. This is our DP, Brian Lannon. He's happy.
One is friends and family. They're always going to be your go-to people, the people that support you the most, and also are usually free labor.
The majority of people who are helping you do a short film, especially when you're trying to do it on a very limited budget, they're going to be working for free. And in many cases, you've probably worked on their films for free, and that's the way it should be. It's a great thing. But I will say one thing, even if you don't have a big budget for feeding people, never underestimate the power of beer.
Good luck. You have to listen to these tips because there's a bust of a Greek person behind me, and that means I know what I'm talking about.